After the success of the Pixi plus vitamin C line, Pixi decided to follow up with a skincare makeup hybrid line, the Pixi plus C VIT Collection. The collection contains 5 items. I have 4 of them, and I'm going to talk you through which one of them is worth your money. Hi, I'm Dr. Anne. I'm a medical doctor with a passion for skincare that works. On this channel we explore the science behind skin and do quick reviews so you learn to pick exactly those products that work for your individual skin concern. So if this is something you're interested in, please consider subscribing and ring the notification bell. I need to get one thing out of the way first. Despite being marketed as a skincare makeup hybrid, these products will not have much benefit in terms of skincare. Not because they don't contain the ingredients that Pixi claims they contain. They do, we'll get into that later, but because they're designed to be used with makeup products. So you apply them as last step with your makeup, and they're designed to stay on top of the skin, not sink in and affect the skin in any significant way. Does that mean that they're completely useless? No, I think they're still better than some other makeup products out there, but I really don't recommend throwing out your serums and replacing them with these products. With that out of the way, let's start with the Pixi plus C VIT Priming Oil. This is one that I actually thought I would not enjoy because I have more oily skin and tend to not like using oils with my foundation. And I'm more of a matte finish kind of girl, so I figured, yeah, I'll give it a try, but it will probably not work for me. Here is what Pixi has to say. Infused with vitamin C, this tri-phase oil nourishes, energizes and balances to prep and prime for radiant glow. As you can see, these are really 3 different phases. You shake them up like this and then it mixes, and the oil that you get actually feels like water. It is really runny with a faint citrus scent, and that was a revelation for me, leaves my skin in no way oily. Instead, you spread it over your face, it sinks in easily, and your skin is plump, hydrated, but without a hint of oiliness. Yes, it leaves the skin a little more radiant, but not oily radiant, a finish that I can actually really get on board with, and it makes the makeup you put on top really go on smoothly. But let's look at the ingredients first. It contains, of course, vitamin C and E as antioxidants. It contains dimethicone and squalane, which make up for the light texture and the easy spreadability, and it contains a few plant extracts. Red flags for some might be the citrus peel oil that's in there, namely orange peel oil and limonene. If you've been around for a while, you know that I use prescription retinoids, and even if I'm extra careful, that can, especially in winter, lead to some flakiness and dry patches, especially here around the mouth and around my nasolabial folds. This one smoothed them out. My makeup did glide on top. There was no clinging to any dry patches, no separating. My makeup just looked fresh and juicy all day long. I still, however, prefer to use this one in the evening. Why? Not because of the texture, not because of the finish it gives. Actually admit I have become quite a fan of this slight dewiness it gives, but because you're supposed to apply this as a primer, which is after your sunscreen, and most sunscreens are oil soluble, so if you apply your sunscreen, let it settle and then apply an oil on top, that might mean that you disrupt your sunscreen barrier. And despite being really lovely in finish, I'm not going to risk compromising my protection against UV throughout the day, but I reach for it every time I do my makeup for a night out. Highly recommended for all skin types, no matter if you're dry or oily. The only ones that should patch test first are the ones with sensitive skin. Next up is the Pixi plus C VIT Brightening Perfector, which is supposed to go on your skin as a primer. It is blurring, so it can be used instead of makeup or with makeup. Here is what Pixi has to say. Vitamin C infused complexion enhancer blurs and perfects to give the skin a radiant, dewy finish. The cream is a little heavier than I anticipated, but easy to spread and contains kind of microspheres that disappear when you apply it onto your skin. There is a faint citrus scent to this. In terms of ingredients, it contains a few humectants, quite a few emollients, and then it contains caffeine, licorice root extract, green tea extract, and the vitamins C, E, and F as in ferulic acid. But the vitamins and plant extracts make their appearance in the middle or lower of the ingredient list, so I don't think that there is a high concentration of these inside. My problem with this one is, despite the fact that it really blurs, gives a hint of color and makes my skin just look fresher or more even, I find it really tricky to apply. You need to pat it into your skin, because the second you start rubbing or the second that you start to apply makeup on top with a brush, it starts to peel off. And this is something that I really don't want in my skincare products. So while this might work if you're careful when you apply it for a day, when you want no color on your face but just look fresh and just a little blurred out and perky, then this one is great. But for me it's quite a hassle, and I never know when I will start rubbing my face and rub it off in peels. Maybe if you find a moisturizer or sunscreen that this works with, let me know, because I like the effect, but so far not for me. Next up is the Pixi Plus C VIT Undereye Brightener, which has kind of a flat applicator, and you can probably tell is bright and vibrant orange. This is what Pixi has to say. This vitamin C infused under eye perfector blurs and energizes to give an instant awakening effect. Refreshing treatment in a tube brightens and restores vibrancy. I admit I was a little shocked when I first saw this, because it's really a bright, vibrant orange, but it doesn't stay that way when you apply it underneath your eye. It spreads easily and sinks in easily. It is unscented. The ingredient list is pretty similar to the one of the Skin Perfector, with the exception that this one contains mica and fluorofluorofut to diffuse the light and give a pearlescent effect, and that this one contains no citrus essential oils. It has a citrus extract that might have some natural AHA, but I doubt that this will have an exfoliating effect. Once the orange is blended into your skin, your eye actually looks the same as it did before. That was a little disappointing for me, because I like to use a corrector, a more peachy corrector, to take away the blue of my under eyes before I apply concealer, and I hope that this one would help with that. But as you can see in the video, once applied, my eye just looked the same in terms of dark circles. What I give this one though is that it is really hydrating and that it prevented the concealer that I put on top from caking. So if this is your biggest issue, this one might be a nice one to look into. I actually think I will stay with my peachy correctors. And the last one is the Pixi Plus C VIT Glowy Powder in the color Peach Dew. You might remember these powders. They were introduced with the Pixi Plus Aspen Overt collection. I have the Aspen Overt one. It looked like a pretty pink in the pot, but once applied to my skin it just was a metallic highlight with absolutely no color, so I was prepared to be disappointed. Pixi claims, silky vitamin C infused radiance powder adds a touch of glow and brightens the complexion. This natural mineral powder contains antioxidants to help energize while creating a natural luminous finish. I am not going to go into the ingredients of this one, because let's face it, this is a powder that you apply on top in a light layer. Even if it has antioxidants, and it apparently has, then there will be no beneficial effect on your skin from applying this one. But I really love how it looks on my skin. This color, I'm wearing it today. I'm not sure if the camera is picking up on this intense metallic glow. Is a peachy brown blush color that works really well for my complexion. If you have a deeper skin tone, it might still work as a golden highlight, and the texture is really buttery. Yes, it is more reflective than I usually like my products to be, but I can forgive that because it never settles into fine lines or emphasizes my pores and texture. It's kind of blurs over them, reflects over them. I do recommend, however, use a tiny blush brush and be very precise with your application, because if you just dust it all over, you'll look more like the Tin Man than like anything else. But of course, if that's what you are going for, then this one is great as well. I like it, I will continue using it, and I recommend that if you get the chance, you check out these two. The one that I have not tried is the Lip Perfector, which is more of a sheer and nourishing balm. Pixi usually do pretty good lip products, so I think this might be worth checking out too, but I have not personally tried it. Please tell me in the comments below what you enjoyed from the collection, what you had your eye on. I'm going to link to more Pixi videos on the screen now, and I'm going to see you all very soon with another one. Bye!